And we've got a stoppage in play. I'm not sure why. I guess it was dribbled out of bounds. Now, I did notice the 30-second clock was not on at the immediate tip. It was like a split second later, the 30-second clock came on. I do not know if that had anything at all to do with this brief stoppage of play. And now I think the scores table going, okay, give us a little explanation. Sharon Robertson on the floor for LBW. Edric Coleman. You've got Harbson Thompson. That is Jonathan Point DeJour. And yeah, there's a really good chance I am butchering his pronunciation of his name, and forgive me. Also, Amari Neely out there for LBW as well. Rebounded by Reed. Put back not there, got it back again. How about the third time being the charm? Ozel Purifoy on the floor for the Coyotes. Polk Reed. You've also got Tank Washington. William Page. And Elijah Lewis. So those are your starters, Saints and Coyotes. And let me begin with an apology for the voice. Don't know what's going on. Been a really kind of a year-long battle. Thought had answers and didn't. So we'll figure something out and plod along, or like I said in the ladies' game. Hey, we got other voices. Jason, Jaron, Charlie, Kamari, and more. More than one way to skin a cat. Washington with it out front over to Purifoy. Top side, Lewis. To the other end of the floor, and you got the 30-second clock running out, but possession had already changed, so that was irrelevant to the possession. As it'll be put in play by Point du Jour. Handed over to Coleman. Coleman in the paint. Out front, 3-ball dropped in by Thompson. Coyotes coming in a game under 500. Saints coming in a game over 500. Down to Page, puts up the 3. Wide right, Reed with the rebound. And he will back way out to reset the Coyote offense. Over to Reed. Page forced to put up the 3. Off the rim, it is a foul. Call on Reed. So Reed charged with a personal. He'll come out of the game, and the number 5 rebounder in the ACCC Division II, Gerard Living, checks in. Out of the corner comes Thompson. We already know what he can do from a long range. Purifoy defending. Fed to Neely, and Neely off the glass. And the timeout on the floor, it is called for by the Coyotes, as LBW jumps out to the early 9-point lead.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone, because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, Coyotes. That's the Pack. That's Coastal Alabama.
Joshua Whitehurst into the game for the Coyotes. We've also put Elijah Pippen in. So you got a couple of starters out, a couple of newcomers in. The 11-2 early lead Saints. Thompson with it. Stepping out of bounds with it is Robertson. And the Coyotes put it in play from the near sidelines. Dean Myrick, commissioner of the ACCC, coming up at halftime. Dribbled out of bounds by Pippen. Saints in possession. Big conference game for both. Long way to go, granted, but you want these conference wins. Rim and window and 2 for Coleman. LBW with an early double-digit lead. Washington, brief screen, Whitehurst giving to Living. Purefoy. It is thrown away, picked off by Neely. Thompson on the other end of the floor with the easy lay-in. That is Whitehurst. Out of bounds, off of the fingertips of Point d'Azur. And we're at the media timeout. Sitting squarely on 15 here at the Cooper Center.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
In and out with a Pippen 3. Coyotes struggling early with a single field goal. Thompson, left side. Neely putting up the three. It is an air ball retrieved by Washington. Pippen, and there is a reach. That is Poindexter reaching around, committing the foul. And it'll be brought in from the far sidelines. In play to Pippen. Back here on Monday, men and women playing, but playing different teams. We'll have them both, though. A 5:30 and 7:30 game. And in between now and then, as it is laid up and in by Thompson. Got basketball tomorrow from Georgia. South Georgia Tech and Tallahassee Community College meeting. There's the second Coyote field goal of the night. Coyotes hoping that is the breaking of the ice. The field goal that leads to an onslaught. And a Purifoy foul, a Coleman bucket, and the possibility of another for Coleman. Host of changes for the Coyotes. Jamin Duncan into the game. Jonathan Fitch checking in. Trey Durant. Alterius Beasley. And also Xander Stevens coming in. Durant into the corner. And stepping out of bounds with it is Duncan. Turnaround not there for Neely. Plenty of offensive boards and multiple tries, but still nothing there. Durant with it. And there is a foul right back here. Neely. No, check that. They're going to call Robertson for the foul. By the way, just got back from Birmingham. Left Birmingham at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Covered the ALA BCA convention with some great speakers. And shortly on YouTube, going to have some interesting stories. Mitch Thompson, the Auburn baseball coach. Coach Randy Putman at Wallace Hansfield. There's some great stories that we'll have on our YouTube channel. Stevens with a putback. So good reason for subscribing. And somewhere nearby is a subscribe button. Robertson dropping in the long two. Saints just aren't missing. Averaging 72 a game. Well, they are definitely on a current pace to score more than 72. Put back good. Neely down to Thompson. And Thompson taking it baseline. Duncan with it. Pulls up near the stripe. Got rim. Got window. Could not get two. Back to Robertson. Thompson into the paint. And dropping it in for two is Poindexter. Durant got fouled. Durant going to the stripe. A 62% shooting free throw team. Durant, a 43% free throw shooter. Saints with a big lead early, but we are a long way from wrapping up this one. We haven't even gotten 25% of the game in. We'll do that in about 26 seconds. Durant won him two. Robertson feeding over to Coleman. Robertson putting up the three, rebounded by Beasley. That is Duncan pushing it down the floor to Durant. Fitch in the corner. Screen set by Beasley. Duncan getting a decent look, dropping in the three ball. Takes a nice bite out of a 16-point lead. Robertson out front to Poindexter, and he'll bank it. Give it to Beasley. And there's a little bumping going on. Thompson with a bump. And we have gotten to another media timeout. So let's break as well. I mean, we're media. Might as well. Take a break and come back to the Cooper Center.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Monroeville, Alabama, Cooper Center. Home to the Coyotes. In a conference matchup with LBW. A conference win over Enterprise State, a conference loss to Bevel State for the Coyotes. In play to Duncan, immediately shoots the long two. He's got 5 in the game. Coleman in traffic. A lot of gold jerseys nearby. And apparently one of them committed a foul. William Page back into the game. And that is going to be Stevens charged with a foul. It has got Coleman at the line. Coleman, a 78% free throw shooter, 13 points a game on a 64% free throw shooting team. Here are a couple of teams, by the way, that we will cover softball and baseball for. Obviously, Coastal North. And we've also added some LBW softball and baseball this spring. I think 18 games in all, 9 each, 9 softball, 9 baseball. Not sure who all we will have this year. Still in talks, if you will. Confirmed, though, LBW, Coastal North, Coastal South, as that is knocked down by Thompson. Into the ball game is Gabe Stevens for the Coyotes. So you got a couple of Stevens, Gabe and Xander. And you got a foul as well, and that foul will be charged to Coleman. Well, I thought I heard the suggestion that it's another media timeout. All right, if you say so, we'll take it.
There once was a young coyote.
You're fired.
He found himself ill-suited for the jobs of the world. He struggled to compete in the corporate environment.
This isn't working out.
And failed at the simplest of tasks.
I think I'm gonna have to let you go.
No matter how hard he tried, his coyote hands were just not meant for regular jobs.
That guy is fired.
Until one day, when he was hired for the perfect job. To become a mascot. And then he found the place where he could thrive.
LBW with possession coming out of the timeout. It is stolen away by the Coyotes into the corner to Stevens. That's a long two for Gabe Stevens. Jaden Cotto has gotten into the game for the Saints. Also checking in is Ty Stanley. And you've got D'Angelon Johnson into the game too for the Saints. Fed down to Beasley. He's bumped from the backside. Ty Stanley picking up the foul. Non-shooting, it'll be brought in from the baseline. Both teams still have a foul to give before putting the other team at the line. Into Beasley, and he walked with it. Beasley out of the game. Washington coming in for the Coyotes. Coleman in traffic. Drawing the foul, got hit on the elbow. Coleman has started every game this year for the Saints. Also, Poindexter, Robertson, starting every contest. Neely starting almost every game. And Thompson has started every game. So it has been a consistent starting five for the Saints. Only one night where Stevens got the start instead of Neely. Otherwise, it's been the same five of Robertson, Poindexter, Coleman, Thompson, and Neely. Page to Washington, back to Page. And there was a foul. Enemy charge to Stanley. Whitehurst, Purifoy, and Pippins in. Stevens, Page, and Duncan out for the Coyotes. And Pippin to put it in play. Gets it out front to Purifoy. Purifoy off the rim. Rebounded by Kato. Tipped away by Whitehurst. Saints maintaining possession. Coleman feeding down low. That is Dwight Stevens with a miss. Down low to Washington. And he'll get the bucket. There'll be a foul on Stanley. So take Washington at the line. Division II teams this year will play at Montevallo if you make the postseason. Last year was Bishop State. And this year moved to Montevallo. Gotta admit, looking forward to going to Montevallo. It's a venue I've never been to. Fed to Neely into the paint. Foul is Coleman. And Coleman in familiar territory there at the stripe. Stolen away by Washington. Into the paint, off the glass. Drew the foul, has a chance for three. Well, you talk about rectifying a situation where it looked like there was going to be Coyote points and there weren't, and then Washington steal, bucket, foul, and one, turns it into three. Reducing that lead to 14. Quickly into the corner. Three ball. It's dropped in by Stevens. Washington with it. And they got a jump ball. Possession arrow keeps us on this end of the floor. Knocked down is Whitehurst. Committing the foul is Cato. Whitehurst averaging 13 a game, a 77% free throw shooter. A little too strong with the two try. And Washington able to track down the Neely miss. And then there is a foul, I believe, on Neely. That'll have Pippen at the strike. Well, we've got a timeout on the floor, 3:31 to play. In a 14-point game, 38-24. Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the ACCC, coming up at halftime. Coyotes, who got off to a slow start, trying to narrow the gap before heading into the locker room at halftime. Hey, don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're watching on YouTube. Even if you went to the website to watch, it is a YouTube media player, which means there should be a subscription button somewhere nearby. The more the merrier. I mean, isn't it the merry time of year? So the more the merrier. Stolen away by Washington. And somebody grabbed the arm of Washington. He'll be shooting free throws. After struggling offensively in the first half, if you're the Coyotes and you could get this thing into single digits by halftime, you're not feeling great, but you're feeling a heck of a lot better. Washington missing the first of two. Thompson back into the game. Out will go Johnson. Beasley make that Washington 1 of 2. Three, an air ball. Whitehurst coached it over the rim. Coleman leaning in, no good, rebound to my living. Washington, it's a 10-point game. Nearly stolen, Living back onto the floor. Purifoy's got it. And there is a foul. Who committed it? And is going to be charged to Stevens. Well, we're inside single digits. Now you got the Coyotes thinking, heck, let's not worry about a single-digit lead at the half. Let's get this thing tied up and take the advantage. Let's have the single-digit lead. Gotta walk. Stevens. In play to Page. Into the corner to Duncan. Back it goes to Lewis. And Lewis forcing up a shot with a tick left on the clock. That 30-second clock will miss the mark. Whenever the Coyotes, you want to keep the Saints from gaining a little momentum with a run here to end the half. Fade away, not there, Living with a rebound. Spin move, Washington will draw the foul. So Washington headed to the stripe, but after the timeout, Ricky Knight, head coach at LBW, asking for the timeout as he has seen what was once a nearly 20-point lead evaporate to 7.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone, because now you're a part of something. A community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, coyotes. That's the pack. That's coastal Alabama.
Washington has gone 1 for 2 the last 2 trips here. And he'll miss the first of 2. And goes 0 for 2. Cano to Thompson. Into the corner to Dakota Johnson. Stevens with a miss. Lewis over to Duncan. Page to Duncan. Washington, he'll be charged with the offensive. In play to Thompson. Three ball off the rim. Rebounded by Stevens, and he'll get the putback. Probably the final possession of the half. Lewis nibbled the rim on the 2 try. Sent to Thompson, and he'll bank it off the glass. Well, all in all, if you are the Coyotes, when you were down by almost 20, to go in the locker room at halftime down by 9, then you're not that upset. I think Coach Chuck Taylor is slightly upset, specifically with that offensive foul called on Washington. Dean Myrick in 60 seconds. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Good to have with us at halftime the commissioner of the ACCC, Dean Myrick. Commissioner, how are you?
I am good. A little chilly, but good.
It is a bit on the chilly side, but I reserve all of my complaining for the heat.
Yeah,
I'm good
absolutely.
with the cold.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, November 17th, I guess it was, there was a press conference introducing the fact that flag football would be coming to the ACCC this year. Take us back a little bit and tell us how all this came to fruition.
Well, we actually started in 2021 when the high schools kind of started, their venture into that, and we just kind of watched it. So there was interest actually going back to 2021, but gosh, the more they kept growing, we felt like this was a perfect time for us to get in on the action and provide those extra opportunities, for the young women. So we actually have been discussing this a little bit since 21, but it really amped up since early summer in meeting with the Parks and Recreation Association, as well as the High School Association at the time with Alvin Briggs. So, like it exploded at the high school level, and, the way that our conference is going with growth and, just the positive future that we have with the conference, we just felt like this was a really good time to go into that and see where it went. But the press conference was great. We knew it would go well, but it by far exceeded expectations with the amount of individuals that attended, that viewed online. We have heard from numerous media markets or companies that news and so forth that have aired that and have reached out for additional interviews. So it has blown up in a very good way. A lot of positive traction moving forward from the high school teams. We're getting a lot of positive feedback from them. So as you heard at the press conference, it's all about providing extra opportunities for the female student athletes. And we feel like, this is a great sport for us. It's popular within the state. It's growing nationally, and feel like it's a good time for us.
I do not know if there's any correlation at all with the WNBA, which has just had an explosion in interest. Maybe it's not related to that, but it does seem as though women's sports has grown in a tremendous fashion from the standpoint of interest. Why is that? And where this is concerned, there just seemed to be this feel of excitement about this announcement.
I can't explain it, and you could kind of feel it in the room when people started gathering a couple weeks ago, and you could feel the excitement. I can sense it, with our schools, our ADs and presidents. So yes, I would agree. Female athletics is really gaining in popularity as well it should, and we are about providing those opportunities and feel like that we can reach a population, of student athletes that in the past we may not have, been able to reach. So, there'll be a few that are dual sport athletes at the high school level. I've heard from some softball, coaches, hey, when I was recruiting for softball, they would ask me to come watch them play flag in the fall, at the high school level. So, that may not be possible at our level to play dual sports. It would just depend on what coaches want. But yes, I would agree. I don't know if there is a correlation with the WNBA, but I just think overall, starting at the ground roots level, and we worked a lot, again, with the Parks and Recreation, because even at that level, at the ground roots level, in these communities, flag football has really taken off, which is spread to the high school level, which, we hope will spread to our level, as well.
This is the third day of December. We could be playing this in January as well. I mean, the interview, because of your popularity, we will have you at halftime for a number of games. But as of the 3rd of December, how many schools are already in to participate in flag football?
We're looking at 9, and I think that could go as high as 12. But it looks like a minimum of 9, which is, our goal was 8. And starting in the fall of 25, I expect there to be a lot more additions in the fall of 26. I think some, when with everything else, are just kind of sitting back and say, okay, how's this really going to go? And I really think, once they see how it's going to go and the popularity and the support, they're going to be all in the fall of 26. So I'm looking 8 minimum, and probably a maximum of 12 coming up this fall of 25, which is a good number for us. And like we shared in the press conference, we will have more in Alabama than the country combined, as far as flag football. So we're hoping that we can drive that popularity and get my colleagues across the country to look at starting that. But we're in a good position because we have enough schools that we can kind of do what we want to do. We don't have to rely on outside entities to schedule to play games, so on and so forth. So we can stay in state and have a full schedule, and I think we will have some really good teams. If you look at the quality of flag football at the high school level, it's amazing, and we'll see 4 of those teams tomorrow at the Super 7, competing for state championships. But I believe at one time we had 4 high schools ranked in the top 20 in the country. Phoenix City, Central Phoenix City is number 1 right now in the country. So if you've never seen it, I urge you to go watch a game. It's really, really exciting, and those young women they get after it.
It starts in the fall of 25, and the first conference tournament will be in the spring of 26. Is that correct?
Yes, as of right now.
All right, let's. We got a limited amount of time, so I want to get to one other topic, at least one other. Baseball Division II. I don't think we've talked about this in an interview yet, but if we have, we're going to do it again. There is a location now where D2 will be playing, and that announcement came, I guess, about a month back. So you're going to Montgomery again.
We're bringing baseball back to Montgomery and then Patterson Field. It'll be the first time since we have been at Patterson since 1998. So we're looking forward to that. I know our coaches are excited. So we'll play the first 4 days at Patterson Field, and then our championship and if game will be at Biscuit Stadium. They've been very kind to us to allow us to play there on their off day. So we're excited for this. Patterson has done a lot of upgrades to the field, and we met 2 weeks ago, and they're looking to do some more upgrades as far as the stands and stuff. So we're excited. I feel like this will be more conducive to the D2 tournament because of geography, as all of our D2 teams, except for one, are south of I-85, corridors. So we feel like that will help with attendance as well. So we're looking forward to it, and I know it'll go well. And the city of Montgomery is really excited as well.
And of course, D1 baseball stays in Oxford. D1 basketball back at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. Great facility from a year ago. D2's got a new home too, moving to Montevallo. How did that happen?
We were scrambling, and I started looking at possible facilities. in that time of year, the end of February, it's difficult to find a 4-year school. You've got to find who's not playing at home, that weekend. And if they're not playing at home, are they willing to bring in, an outside tournament when, as we know, a lot of the assistants and all come from from those teams. So, Montevallo and, athletic director Mark Richard was very receptive to us coming, and we look forward to that, and we'll start. Me, Robert. We're always looking into the future, so we're already talking about what happens after 2025, and I would like to kind of plant our flag. I know that's a bad thing to say after last weekend with the football, but we're looking to plant our flag somewhere and get more of a permanent, location where we're not, having to find different locations, year to year.
All right, let's bring the conversation full circle. You talked about looking ahead. Let's go to 2026 spring and a championship site for flag football. Where might that be?
I don't know, but I will say since that news conference, I've had 4 entities reach out wanting to host it. So it's, again, that's just one part of it. But once we shared that, it's been hey, we'd like to get in on that, and how can we get involved? So and it's kind of growing for all of our sports as well, Robert. I had someone reach out yesterday and went and took a tour of their facility, that are interested in bidding. So, and we've had one entity that's expressed an interest in bidding on all of our tournaments, to kind of, like I said, plant our flag somewhere. And so we'll see how that turns out. And, if it's something that's good, not only for the conference, but for our teams and, student athletes as well.
Well, Dean Myron, Commissioner of the ACCC, we appreciate so much the update on the conference, flag football specifically, but the new locations too for D2 basketball and baseball. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yes, sir. Thanks for all you do with us, and we'll see you at a game soon.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Half number 2. LBW and Coastal Alabama North. Saints jumped out to a big lead. But the Coyotes battled back, and a minute 29 away from halftime, it trimmed it to a 7-point game with Washington at the stripe shooting 2 and a chance to make it 5. You miss the free throws. Saints get a bucket. But all in all, considering the start of the game, Coyotes probably not that upset with where they are going into half number 2. Down by 9. Now in front to Whitehurst. Whitehurst, Washington, Living, Purifoy, and Pippin on the floor to begin half number 2 for the Coyotes. Meanwhile, on the other end of the floor, you've got Neely, Poindexter, Thompson, D'Angelon Johnson, and Edric Coleman. Neely, a 67% free throw shooter, 17 points a game for Neely. Just a tad behind Thompson. Fed down low to Living, and he'll bank it off the glass. Robertson feeds into the paint. Missed by Coleman. Purifoy quickly to the other end. The finger roll for two. And this pressure that allowed the Coyotes to get back into the ball game in the first half. They're doing it again here in half number 2 and have trimmed it to a 6-point game. Johnson taken away by Pippen. Thompson tipping it back onto the floor. Washington dives to save. Whitehurst banks it off the glass. Coyotes have turned it into a 2-point game. Who would have thunk it? Coyotes down 21-6. At one point, it was a 34-12 game. But they have battled back to within 2. And there is a foul. It'll be brought in from the baseline. Here comes Stevens into the game. Washington will lead. And Whitehurst apparently with a foul. Defending Thompson apparently just kind of hooked him. Picked up the foul. Out front to Robertson. Thompson over to Poindexter, down low. And count the bucket for Neely. He drew the foul as well. Serenely a 67% free throw shooter going to the stripe. Lewis into the game. Whitehurst will come out for the Coyotes. And Neely will shoot. Pippins getting into Purifoy, and then you've got a foul. Got a couple of guys nearby. I believe it is going to be charged to Coleman. But let's see. And yes, it is. Coleman. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you've got access to games, to interviews, to shows, and more. Living dropping in the 3. Back to a 2-point game. Trying to match that 3 is Poindexter. Living coming down with the rebound. Pippen lost control. And you got a jump ball. So the Coyotes will keep it with an opportunity to tie or take the lead depending on shot selection. Washington into the game and Xander Stevens coming out. Coyotes to put it in play from the baseline. Launched out front. Living. Had the look. Couldn't get it to fall. Washington. The putback. We're tied. 44 each. In play to Thompson. Stolen away by Purifoy. Washington, the bucket. Got fouled too. First lead of the game for the Coyotes. And there is a timeout on the floor. Ricky Knight wants to talk with his Saints. Coyotes looking to go up by 3.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Washington with an opportunity to cap off a 3. We are 24 minutes almost into the game. And the Coyotes have got their first lead. Out of bounds, off of Pippins. Then play to Coleman and then given out front to Robertson. LBW's lone loss. Sneed State got a travel by Thompson. Then nullifies the bucket. And we're talking about the lone loss in conference play. Lone conference loss for the Coyotes to Bevel State. Purifoy one in the alley-oop. Thompson's got it. Stolen away by the Coyotes. Lewis to Washington. Whipped underneath to Neely, and Neely able to slide from one side of the rim to the other for 2. Thrown away by Purifoy. Whitehurst, Beasley, and Finch coming in. Living, Purifoy, and Lewis going out. Timeout on the floor at the 15:02 mark.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. a tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
What better place to be on a Friday night? Watching a heck of a game, conference matchup. LBW Coastal Alabama North. D2 ACCC basketball. Nearly stolen away by Finch, but he will create the foul. Ran into Robertson. Put in play to Robertson after the Fitch foul. Tipped out of bounds by Whitehurst. Jumper from Thompson. Tipped in and out, hit the glass, and then tipped back in. Fitch into the corner, three-pointer, dropped in by Page. Robertson, top side, working it to the timeline, then goes over to Thompson in the corner to Poinge DeJour. Down low Neely, tipped away by Whitehurst. Washington gives it to Page. Fitch has got it. Leans in, banks it. And there is a foul on Beasley. Here comes Living back into the game. Beasley coming out. Well, I thought Beasley was coming out. He thought he was coming out. But instead it is Washington. Fan over to Thompson. Stolen away. Whitehurst. Put back, not there. Beasley will shove Pointe de Jour from the backside. And Beasley will pick up two quick ones. Wow, we're already at the foul line for the Saints. They will spend the remaining 13 minutes, 25 seconds shooting free throws after Coyote fouls. Pointe de Jour hits the front end of the 1-and-1. A 33% free throw shooter. Averaging right at 5 a game. One possession game, but a ton of time left. Whitehurst for three. Got a jump ball. Possession stays in the hands of the Saints. Brought in from the baseline. Point de jour to do it. Off the rim for Thompson. Tip back onto the floor. Thompson gets it back. Rebounded by Beasley. Swatted away. Robertson quickly to the other end of the floor. Fitch with it. Shot, Whitehurst, another three. Robertson double teamed, and either Page or Whitehurst fouled him. It is going to be Page. Robertson shooting, according to stats, a 22% free throw shooter. He shoots floor shots at 28.6, 22.2 from the line. And he'll miss the first, rebounded by Purifoy, which of course means no and one. And a foul on this end of the floor. Coleman committing the personal. And Coleman coming off the floor. And we will get a timeout. Just a tad under 12 minutes to play. Coyotes by 9.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone, because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, Coyotes. That's the Pack. That's Coastal Alabama.
Coyotes put it in play from the baseline. Taking it to the glass, Whitehurst. Wow, it is a double-digit Coyote lead again. Who would have thunk it? Down by 18 in the first half, up by 11 now. Nice feed over to Point de Jour. Whitehurst taking it baseline, whistle on the trip in. And apparently, Whitehurst stepped out of bounds. Purifoy winds up in the stands. Dwight Stevens putting it in play. Inbound stolen by Purifoy. And Pippen to the strike. Coyotes trying to stretch it back out to an 11-point lead. Stevens able to get it across midcourt in the allotted 10 to Robertson. Wide open in the corner, but off with the three is Ty Stanley. Stanley checking into the game. I think I saw on YouTube, where he's a Georgetown, South Carolina product. I know I've heard of Georgetown. I'm trying to remember where that is. Outside of the arc. Washington with a miss. Robertson with a rebound. Point Dejour. Why am I thinking somewhere maybe around Charleston is where Georgetown is? Got the bucket in two. Stanley with a drive and the two. Purifoy missing down low, Living coming down with the rebound. Back onto the floor to Washington. Missed the shot, drew the foul. Well, there's a fella who is playing a huge role in this comeback for the Coyotes. Now, granted, there's still 9 minutes and 36 seconds left to play. Comeback not complete. Saints perfectly capable of erasing a 9-point lead in the span of 9 minutes and 36 seconds. So the Coyotes can't let the guard down, nor will they. Saints looking for that formula that gave them a big first half lead. And a reach around by Pippen. And that'll put Robertson at the line. Shooting the 1-and-1. Front end is off by a lot. Didn't get the rim. Page into the game. Pippen comes out. Open lane, Page exploits it. Back to an 11-point lead. Stevens to Robertson, able to get it underneath the defense of Living. Lewis, missed shot. Robertson, Stanley, tipped away, dive to get it back. And I think they're going to get Whitehurst for knocking down Stanley. Well, those aren't Whitehurst numbers. That is Page who committed the foul. Ty Stanley, 67% free throw shooter. Averaging almost 10 a game. Read into the game, Living will come out. That's for the Coyotes. As for the Saints, Robertson has come out of the game and Kato has come in. Top side to Lewis. 3 ball off the rim for Whitehurst. And that's going to lead Stanley by too much. Seven-point game, 8 to go. So the Saints successful in trimming into the lead. It was 9 with 9. It's 7 with 8. Off the rim for Whitehurst. Rebounded by Washington. And that was tipped out of bounds from the backside. Coyotes maintain possession. Here comes Purifoy into the game. Whitehurst will get a breather. Coyotes averaging 75 a game. Saints averaging 72. Page slipped out of his hands, but apparently there was a reason. And then reason was Kato. And that is the 7th Saint foul, which will have Page at the line shooting the 1-and-1. Page a 50-50. Well, maybe it wasn't a 1-and-1. Even the coach said 1-and-1, box out. But apparently wasn't a 1-and-1, 2-shot foul. Page goes 1 of 2. Well, the Saints got the look they wanted, got the ball down the floor. Just couldn't hang on to the basketball. Washington back over to Page. Ball on the floor. Battle to get it. You've got Kato, you've got Reed both wrapping it up. And the possession arrow will take us to the other end of the floor. And we have made our way to another timeout. Talk about a dandy at the Cooper Center.
There once was a young coyote
You're fired.
He found himself ill-suited for the jobs of the world. He struggled to compete in the corporate environment. Yeah, this isn't working out. And failed at the simplest of tasks.
I think I'm gonna have to let you go.
No matter how hard he tried, his coyote hands were just not meant for regular jobs.
That guy is fired.
Until one day, when he was hired for the perfect job. To become a mascot. And then he found the place where he could thrive. Find the place where you thrive at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Saints with it coming out of the timeout. Shot missed by Cano. Handed over to Page. Saints, who led by as much as 18, down by 8 with 6:40 to go. Cano will tip the Page shot out of bounds. A Coyote win, and they're at the 500 mark. Overall, a Saint loss, and they are at the 500 mark too. And a shot clock violation. But more importantly, the team that wins still has a single blemish on their conference mark. The team that loses has a pair of losses. Stanley for three, off the rim, rebounded by Page. Flicks it to Lewis. Back over to Purifoy. In traffic. Shot good. That is Johnson, by the way. Reed. Not out of his range. He'll make some of those threes. And it goes to Lewis, shoots the three. He's got it. Pushing the advantage back to 11. Cano gets fouled. And it is Reed that did it. So Cano to the strike. Trying to get this back inside single digits. Coyotes trying to get the sweep tonight. Ladies have already won. 162-58. Lady Coyotes now 2-0 in the conference. Coyotes trying to do the same, except go to 2-1. And Saints trying to spoil those plans. It is a 9-point game. Page pulls up near the elbow, gives it to Lewis. Lewis bumped, lost it. Got it back, lost it. Stevens, and the lay-in by Neely. It's a 7-point game. Purifoy, double clutch, not there. Reed, put back, is. Behind the back with a pass, Purifoy. Lewis the steal, the razzle dazzle, Purifoy the points. And Lewis going to be charged with a foul. Ran into Coleman, trying to take it away. So Coleman shooting the 1-and-1. Actually, shooting the 2. It is now the double bonus. Well, the Saints come in as a 64% free throw shooting team. And for the rest of the night, they will shoot 2. With some exceptions, obviously. Both free throws good for Coleman. Living with a screen, Page to the right side. Into the corner to Purifoy. Reed from the elbow, rattles it in. Stevens to Neely. And Lewis the contact on Cotto. And we have made it to another media timeout, the last one of the game. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to play. Whoops. Well, and we're talking basketball, and these seats kind of flip up when you get out of them, and she wasn't ready for that. I'm sure that we're talking basketball, right? I mean, loving basketball on a Friday night. Cotto to the stripe. 3:20 to go. 11-point Saint lead. Make that an 11-point Coyote lead after the Saints had a first half advantage. And give the Coyotes credit. They could have just packed it in after the Saints went up by 18 and said, you know what, we'll do better next time. But had plenty of time to go and began to battle back, fight back into the game. tenacious defense, creating turnovers, and then making good on those turnovers. Pippen with a miss, rebounded by Reed, put back too strong, he'll try again. Off the rim, no good. Well, at this point, you do like the time that was taken off the clock, as it is saved by Reed, but you're not at a point in the game where you can be satisfied exclusively with time. You still want some points in a 3-possession game. Into the corner to Whitehurst, back into the game. Pippen lost the dribble, 2-on-1 Saints. And it is laid up and in by Neely. Full timeout, 2:07 to play. Saints still in the game. Coyotes still with a lead. I think that C on the toboggan is for the Coyotes. I think it could be Christmas. We're in the holiday season, 12 days away from Christmas. So right now we can start singing that song on the 12th day of Christmas. What was it? Heck, I don't know. 12 frogs a swimming or 12 lords a leaping? Hey, I haven't sung it since last year. Okay, I didn't sing it last year either. The only one I can remember is the partridge in a pear tree. And I think the 5 golden rings. 79-72 game. Lean in by Purifoy, got it back. And there is a foul. And that's going to be charged to Washington. Came over the back of Coleman. And Coleman to the strike. Currently a 3-possession game. But you got Coleman going to the stripe with a chance to make it a 2-possession game. With still a minute 42. There's a lot of time left. Coleman trying to make it a 2-possession contest. He'll do it. Five-point game. And now the Coyotes want to run time off the clock and get points. Screen set by Washington. Back to Whitehurst. Too strong off the window. Rebounded by Cano. Cano with the bucket. It's a 3-point game. Making this a huge possession for the Coyotes. Whitehurst. Now make that Washington. Reed wants 3. What a huge 3 for Reed. Neely backing it out, goes to Stevens. Washington the rebound. Stripped away by Coleman, but the Coyotes will keep it. With a timeout on the floor. Coyotes up by 6.
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Obviously watching the game with keen interest. 33.8 to play. Coyotes with the lead and possession of the basketball. Purefoy asked for time as he was leaning in. And while he had 1 foot in the air and 1 foot out of bounds, was able to call the timeout and save the possession. Well, that is Purefoy. And wouldn't it be ironic if one of the biggest plays of the game was not a bucket made or a jam or a clutch three? It was calling timeout while leaning in and nearly stepping onto the floor. Foul on Purefoy, Coleman guilty. Free throws become huge. North has struggled at the line, a 62% free throw shooting team. Purefoy typically about 56% from the stripe. Needing the front end here. Couldn't get it to drop. Cotto coaxed it over the rim. Cuts the lead to 4. And Ricky Knight will ask for time. It ain't over, I've heard, until the fat lady sings, and I don't even know if she's warming up the vocal cords yet. It's a 4-point game with 21 seconds left.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone. Because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, Coyotes. That's the Pack. That's Coastal Alabama.
Big inbounds, and immediately after there will be a foul. And the Saints will be banking on another miss on the front end of a 1-and-1. And Page is fouled. Well, still a 2-possession game. And no matter what happens here, it stays a 2-possession contest. But it can be the short end or the long end of a 2-possession game. The Page preference, the long end. And he will get his first. Big free throws for Page. Stevens into the game, and Living will come out. Cano to Coleman. He'll nail the three. And there was a timeout asked for by the Coyotes. They might have gotten it in, but Coach Taylor didn't think they were going to. And calls the timeout with 13 seconds left to play. Neither team can stop the clock now. Both teams have expended their timeouts. Coyotes hoping for a successful inbounds. And then we'll anticipate an immediate foul. You go to the other end of the floor, you make the front end, because they'd still be shooting the 1-and-1. Actually, I think the next foul would be the double bonus. So he'll shoot 2. That is the 10th foul. So you've got 2 shots. And for all practical purposes, well, 12 seconds. Well, if you make one of the 2, you feel a heck of a lot better. This is a huge one for Page. Big free throw. Pushes it out to a 2-possession lead. Splashed in by Stevens. Whitehurst will shoot. 4 seconds to go. No timeout, so whatever strategy the Saints will have, they've already discussed. And Whitehurst would love to make 2 and won't. Now you're talking about a miracle shot, and really not a miracle shot. You've got 4 seconds. So you've got an opportunity to get a halfway decent look. I think there's discussion as to whether Coleman is fouled out or not. And apparently he has. Thompson is in. So the Saints should get at least somewhat of a look. It's a 2-point game. Off the rim, ball game over. And the Coyotes battle from 18 down in the first half to win at 86-84. What a ball game here at the Cooper Center on the campus of Coastal Alabama North. And for the Coyotes, it is the sweep tonight. Ladies win it by 4 and the guys by 2. Tomorrow, basketball from South Georgia Tech, Tallahassee Community College, and South Georgia battling. We'll have it for you right here on JockJive. Thanks so much for watching our coverage. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our premium channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And we'll see you tomorrow in Georgia. For all the Coastals and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.